Peter Andreas Thyle is an American entrepreneur, venture capitalist, and hedge fund manager. Thyle co-founded PayPal with Max Levchin and Elon Musk and served as its CEO. He also co-founded Palantir, of which he is chairman. He serves as president of Clarion Capital, a global macro hedge fund with $700 million in assets under management. A managing partner in Founders Fund, a venture capital fund with $2 billion in assets under management. And co-founder and investment committee chair of Mithril Capital Management. He was the first outside investor in Facebook, the popular social networking site, with a 10.2% stake acquired in 2004 for $500,000, and sits on the company's board of directors. Thyle was ranked number 293 on the Forbes 400 in 2011, with a net worth of $1.5 billion as of March 2012. He was ranked number 4 on the Forbes Midas list of 2014 at $2.2 billion. Thyle lives in San Francisco, California. Early life, childhood: born to German parents in Frankfurt am Main, West Germany, Thyle moved to the United States with his parents when he was a toddler, and was raised in Foster City, California. Thyle was a U.S.-rated chess master and one of the highest-ranked under-21 players in the country. College and law school: Thyle studied 20th-century philosophy as an undergraduate at Stanford University. He received his B.A. in philosophy from Stanford in 1989 and acquired a J.D. from Stanford Law School in 1992. An avowed libertarian, he founded the Stanford Review in 1987 along with Norman Book. The Stanford Review became famous for challenging campus mores including political correctness and laws against hate speech. The Stanford Review is now the university's main conservative libertarian newspaper. Thyle formed friendships with other students at Stanford, many of whom contributed to the Stanford Review. These include Keith Rabois, David O. Sachs, and Reid Hoffman. Some of these friends later took up jobs at PayPal and became part of the PayPal Mafia. While studying at Stanford, Thyle also encountered Rena Copyright Girard, whose mimetic theory influenced him. Early career: Thyle clerked for Judge J. L. Edmondson of the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit. From 1993 to 1996, he traded derivatives for Credit Suisse Group. He founded Thyle Capital Management, a multi-strategy fund, in 1996. PayPal: in 1998 Thyle co-founded PayPal, an online payments system, with Max Levchin. The company later merged with XCOM, then headed by Elon Musk. PayPal went public on February 15, 2002, and was sold to eBay for $1.5 billion later that year. Thyle's 3.7% stake in PayPal was worth approximately $55 million at the time of the acquisition. According to Eric Jackson's account of PayPal in his book The PayPal Wars, Thyle viewed PayPal's mission as liberating people throughout the world from the erosion of the value of their currencies due to inflation. Jackson recalls an inspirational speech by Thyle in 1999. "We're definitely onto something big. The need PayPal answers is monumental. Everyone in the world needs money to get paid, to trade, to live. Paper money is an ancient technology and an inconvenient means of payment. You can run out of it. It wears out. It can get lost or stolen. In the 21st century, people need a form of money that's more convenient and secure, something that can be accessed from anywhere with a PDA or an internet connection. Of course, what we're calling convenient for American users will be revolutionary for the developing world. Many of these countries' governments play fast and loose with their currencies," the former derivatives trader, referring to Thyle noted, before continuing, "They use inflation and sometimes wholesale currency devaluations, like we saw in Russia and several Southeast Asian countries last year," referring to the 1998 Russian financial crisis and 1997 Asian financial crisis, to take wealth away from their citizens. Most of the ordinary people there never have an opportunity to open an offshore account or to get their hands on more than a few bills of a stable currency like US dollars. Eventually PayPal will be able to change this. In the future, when we make our service available outside the US and as internet penetration continues to expand to all economic tiers of people, PayPal will give citizens worldwide more direct control over their currencies than they ever have before. It will be nearly impossible for corrupt governments to steal wealth from their people through their old means, because if they try, the people will switch to dollars or pounds or yen, in effect dumping the worthless local currency for something more secure. Clarion Capital, immediately after selling PayPal, Thyle launched a global macro hedge fund, Clarion Capital, pursuing a global macro strategy. In 2005, Clarion was honored as Global Macro Fund of the Year by both MarHedge and Absolute Return, two trade magazines. Thyle, a unregistered trademark's approach to investing became the subject of a chapter in Steve Drogba's unregistered trademark's book, Inside the House of Money. Thyle successfully bet that the US dollar would weaken in 2003, and gained significant returns betting that the dollar and energy would rally in 2005. After significant losses starting in 2009, Clarion dropped from $7 a billion in assets in 2008 to around $350 a million in 2011. In 2004, well before the financial crisis of 2007, Euro 2010 bore him out in general terms. Thyle spoke of the dot-com bubble of 2000 having migrated, in effect, into a growing bubble in the financial sector. He specified General Electric, with its large financing arm, and Walmart as vulnerable. To illustrate, in 2004, he reported having backed away from buying Martha Stewart's Manhattan duplex for $7 a million in the winter of 2003 to 2004. While the apartment did sell in 2004 for $6.65 a million to another buyer, it was on the market but unsold in early 2010 at $15.9 a million, and later at the reduced price of $13.9 a million. Facebook. In August 2004, Thyle made a $500,000 angel investment in the social network Facebook for 10.2% of the company and joined Facebook's board. This was the first outside investment in Facebook, and Thyle went on to be portrayed in The Social Network by actor Wallace Langham. In his book The Facebook Effect, David Kirkpatrick outlines the story of how Thyle came to make his investment. Former Napster and Plaxo co-founder Sean Parker, who at the time had assumed the title of president of Facebook, was seeking investors for Facebook. Parker approached Reid Hoffman, the CEO of work-based social network LinkedIn. Hoffman liked Facebook but declined to be the lead investor because of the potential for conflict of interest with his duties as LinkedIn CEO. He redirected Parker to Thyle, whom he knew from their PayPal days. Thyle met Parker and Mark Zuckerberg, the Harvard College student who had founded Facebook and controlled it. Thyle and Zuckerberg got along well, and Thyle agreed to lead Facebook's seed round with $500,000 for 10.2% of the company. Hoffman and Mark Pincus also participated in the round. The investment was originally in the form of a convertible note, to be converted to equity if Facebook reached 1.5 million users by the end of 2004. Although Facebook narrowly missed the target, Thyle allowed the loan to be converted to equity anyway. Thyle said of his investment, "I was comfortable with them pursuing their original vision. And it was a very reasonable valuation. I thought it was going to be a pretty safe investment." As a board member, Thyle was not actively involved in Facebook's day-to-day decision-making. According to Sarah Lacey, Thyle's main advice to Zuckerberg in their initial years was just "Don't unregistered trademark fuck it up." However, he did provide help with timing the various rounds of funding. Zuckerberg credited Thyle with helping him time Facebook's 2007 Series D to close before the 2007 Euro 2010 financial crisis. In September 2010, Thyle, while expressing skepticism about the potential for growth in the consumer Internet sector, argued that relative to other Internet companies, Facebook was comparatively undervalued. Facebook's IPO was in May 2012, with a market cap of nearly $100 billion, at which time Thyle sold 16.8 million shares for $638 million. In August 2012, immediately upon the conclusion of the early investor lockout period, Thyle sold almost all of his remaining stake for between $19.27 and $20.69 per share, or $395.8 million, for a total of more than $1 billion. He still retained 5 million shares and a seat on the board of directors. Angel investor and venture capitalist, in 2005 Thyle created Founders Fund, a San Francisco-based venture capital fund. Other partners in the fund include Sean Parker, Ken Howery, and Luke Nosek. In addition to Facebook, Thyle has made early-stage investments in numerous startups, including BookTrack, Slide, LinkedIn, Friendster, Rapleaf, Jenny.com, Yammer, Yelp, Incorporated, PowerSet, Practice Fusion, Meta MED, Vorta, Palantir Technologies, Ironport, Votizen, Asana, BigThink, Caplinked, Cumra, Ripple, TransferWise, Nanotronics Imaging, Stripe, and Legendary Entertainment. Slide, LinkedIn, Jenny.com, and Yammer were founded by Thyle's former colleagues at PayPal, Slide by Levchin, LinkedIn by Reid Hoffman, Yelp by Jeremy Stoppelman, Jenny.com and Yammer by David Sachs, and Xero by Rod Drury. Fortune magazine reports that PayPal alumni have founded or invested in dozens of startups with an aggregate value of around $30 a billion. In Silicon Valley circles, Thyle is colloquially referred to as the Don of the PayPal Mafia, as noted in the Fortune magazine article. Thyle's views on management are highly regarded, especially his famous observation that startup success is highly correlated with low CEO pay. Thyle founded Palantir Technologies funded by the CIA's venture capital arm in Q-Tel. In February 2013, Thyle received a TechCrunch Crunchy Award for Venture Capitalist of the Year. Mithril, a late-stage investment fund, in June 2012, Peter Thyle launched Mithril, a late-stage investment fund with $402 million at the time of launch, intended for companies that were at the cusp between being private and going public. Other partners in the fund include Jim O'Neill, co-founder of the Thyle Fellowship, and Ajay Royan, a former managing director at Clarion Capital, a hedge fund started by Thyle. Philanthropy. Thyle carries out most of his philanthropic activities through a non-profit foundation created by him called the Thyle Foundation. Theory of philanthropy. Thyle concentrates the bulk of his philanthropic efforts on what he sees as potential breakthrough technologies. In November 2010, Thyle organized a breakthrough philanthropy conference that showcased 8 non-profits that he believed were working on radical new ideas in technology, government, and human affairs. A similar conference was organized in December 2011 with the name Fast Forward. Machine Intelligence Research Institute. Thyle believes in the importance and desirability of a technological singularity. In February 2006, Thyle provided $100,000 of matching funds to back the Singularity Challenge donation drive of the Machine Intelligence Research Institute. Additionally, he joined the Institute's advisory board and participated in the Maya 2006 Singularity Summit at Stanford as well as at the 2011 Summit held in New York City. In Maya 2007, Thyle provided half of the $400,000 matching funds for the annual Singularity Challenge donation drive. The organization was a participant in the Breakthrough Philanthropy Conference and the Fast Forward Conference. Anti-aging research. In September 2006, Thyle announced that he would donate $3.5 million to foster anti-aging research through the Methuselah Mouse Prize Foundation. He gave the following reasons for his pledge: rapid advances in biological science foretell of a treasure trove of discoveries this century, including dramatically improved health and longevity for all. Euro unregistered trademark backing drive, Aubrey de Grey, because I believe that his revolutionary approach to aging research will accelerate this process, allowing many people alive today to enjoy radically longer and healthier lives for themselves and their loved ones. The Thyle Foundation supports the research of the Sensor Foundation, headed by Driver D. Gray, that is working to achieve the reversal of biological aging. The Thyle Foundation also supports the work of anti-aging researcher Cynthia Kenyon. The Sensor Foundation was a participant in the Breakthrough Philanthropy Conference and the Fast Forward Conference. Seasteading. On April 15, 2008, Thyle pledged $500,000 to the new Seasteading Institute, directed by Patry Friedman, whose mission is to establish permanent, autonomous ocean communities to enable experimentation and innovation with diverse social, political, and legal systems. This was followed in February 2010 by a subsequent grant of $250,000, and an additional $100,000 in matching funds. In a talk at the Seasteading Institute conference in November 2009, Thyle explained why he believed that seasteading was necessary for the future of humanity. In 2011, Thyle was reported as having given a total of $1.25 million to the Seasteading Institute. According to the Daily Mail, Peter Thyle was inspired to do so by Ayn Rand's philosophical novel Atlas Shrugged. The Seasteading Institute was a participant in the Breakthrough Philanthropy Conference and the Fast Forward Conference. Thyle Fellowship. On September 29, 2010, Thyle said he had created a new fellowship called the Thyle Fellowship, which will award $100,000 to $20 people under 20 years old, in order to spur them to quit college and create their own ventures. Breakout Labs. In October 2011, the Thyle Foundation announced the creation of Breakout Labs, a grant-making program intended to fund early-stage scientific research that may be too radical or innovative for traditional scientific funding bodies but also too long-term and speculative for venture investors. In April 2012, Breakout Labs announced its first set of grantees. Other causes. The Thyle Foundation is also a supporter of the Committee to Protect Journalists, which promotes the right of journalists to report the news freely without fear of reprisal, and the Human Rights Foundation, which organizes the Oslo Freedom Forum. Political activities, quotes. Peter Thyle wrote, on April 13, 2009, in the libertarian Cato Unbound blog, OE most importantly, I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible. In the same article, he also wrote, since 1920, the vast increase in welfare beneficiaries and the extension of the franchise to women. To constituencies that are notoriously tough for libertarians. Have rendered the notion of OE capitalist democracy into an oxymoron. On September 22, 2010, Thyle said at a 2010 fundraiser for the American Foundation for Equal Rights, OE I believe that gay rights and marriage rights for gay people should not be a partisan issue. Gay marriage can't. Unregistered trademark T be a partisan issue because as long there are partisan issues or cultural issues in this country, unregistered trademark LL have trench warfare like on the Western Front in World War I. Unregistered trademark LL have lots of carnage and no progress. He wrote an editorial in National Review in 2011 claiming that the world had entered a tech slowdown, and that 1969 was when the hippies took over the country, and when the true cultural war over progress was lost. Bilderberg Group. Thyle is listed as a member of the steering committee of the Bilderberg Group, a private, annual gathering of intellectual figures, political leaders and business executives. Support for political activism. Thyle is a self-described conservative libertarian, and an objectivist. Thyle has supported gay rights causes such as the American Foundation for Equal Rights and Got Proud. In 2010, Thyle held Homoken 2010 for Got Proud, an LGBT conservative libertarian, in his New York City apartment. He invited conservative columnist Ann Coulter, who is a friend of his, to Homoken 2010 to guest speak. Coulter would later dedicate her new book, Demonic: How the Liberal Mob is Endangering America, to Thyle. In 2012, Thyle would donate $10,000 to Minnesotans United for All Families, in order to fight Minnesota Amendment 1. In 2009, it was reported that Thyle helped fund college student James O'Keefe's Taxpayers Clearinghouse video, a satirical look at the politics behind the Wall Street bailout. O'Keefe went on to produce the Acorn undercover sting videos, but through a spokesperson, Thyle denied involvement in or even knowledge of the Acorn sting. In July 2012, after donating $1 million in a single donation, Thyle became the largest contributor to the Club for Growth, a fiscally conservative 501(c)(4) support for political candidates. Although a member of the Libertarian Party, Thyle donates overwhelmingly more political contributions to Republicans. In December 2007, Thyle endorsed Ron Paul for president. After Ron Paul failed to secure the Republican nomination for president, Thyle contributed to the John McCain-Sarah Palin presidential ticket of 2008. In 2010, Thyle supported Meg Whitman, who as CEO of eBay had purchased PayPal from Thyle and his co-founders and investors, in her unsuccessful bid for the governorship of California. He contributed the maximum allowable $25,900 to the Whitman campaign. In 2012, Thyle, along with PayPal co-founder Luke Nosek and Scott Bannister, an early advisor and board member, put their support behind Ron Paul's Endorse Liberty Super PAC, alongside Internet advertising veteran Stephen Oskouy and entrepreneur Jeffrey Harmon, who founded Endorse Liberty in November 2011. Collectively Thyle al. gave $3.9 million to Endorse Liberty, whose purpose was to promote Texas Congressman Ron Paul for president in 2012. As of January 31, 2012, Endorse Liberty reported spending about $3.3 million promoting Paul by setting up 2 YouTube channels, buying ads from Google and Facebook and StumbleUpon, and building a presence on the web. At the 2012 Republican National Convention, Thyle held a private meeting with Rand Paul and Ron Paul's presidential delegates to discuss the future of the Liberty Movement. After Ron Paul again failed to secure the Republican nomination for president, Thyle contributed to the Mitt Romney-Paul Ryan presidential ticket of 2012. Other Republican politicians Thyle has contributed donations to include Representative James E. Rogan, Don Steinberg, Senator John Thune Douglas Forrester, Representative Robin Hayes, Senator John Cornyn, Senator Elizabeth Dole, Senator Lamar Alexander, State Senator Dick Monteith, Representative Lee Terry, Senator Chuck Hagel, Representative Dan Lundgren, Representative Bob B. Prez, Representative Mike Simpson, Representative Tom Tancredo, Representative Mary Bono, Governor Butch Otter, Representative Dana Rohrabacher, Representative Nancy Johnson, Representative Scott Garrett, Representative Tim Johnson, Representative Bill Thomas, Senator Jeff Flake, Senator Jim DeMint, Senator Jim Talent, Representative Denny Rehberg, Representative Rob Simmons, Representative John Porter, Representative Roscoe Bartlett, Representative Ed Royce, Senator Susan Collins, Senator Gordon H. Smith, Representative Bob Schaffer, John Naley Kennedy, Senator Norm Coleman, Representative Mike Kaufman, Representative Eric Cantor, John Royce, Dino Rossi, Brian Brumberg, Senator Ron Paul, Randy Altshuler, Representative Justin Amash, State Senator Richard Tirzai, Kevin McCarthy, Senator Ted Cruz, Josh Mandel, and Senator Orrin Hatch. The only Democrat Thyle has contributed donations to is Ru Khanna. Khanna has been criticized by members of his own party as a fiscal conservative, libertarian, and Republican light. Religious views. Thyle inherited his Christian beliefs from his parents. He grew up as an evangelical, but he describes his beliefs as somewhat heterodox, complicated by his cultural liberalism. I believe Christianity is true, he said. I don't unregistered trademark T sort of feel a compelling need to convince other people of that. Sonia Arison, the author of A100+, a book on research into life extension, first met Thyle in 2003, when she heard him give a lunch talk about the failure of the U.S. Constitution. 8 years later, they are close friends, but she has no idea of his religious beliefs. He won unregistered trademark T. Tell me what he is, she said. He thinks I should just know. He would never tell me whether he believes in God. During his time at Stanford, he had attended a lecture given by a French professor named Rena Copyright Girard, which had led him to Girard unregistered trademark S books, and he became a devotee. Girard had developed a theory of mimetic desire, of people learning to want and compete for the same things, which attempted to explain the origins of violence. Girard, a conservative Catholic, explained the role of sacrifice and the scapegoat in resolving social conflict, which appealed to Thyle, offering a basis for his Christian belief without the fundamentalism of his parents. Other pursuits, media appearances and commentary. Thyle is an occasional commentator on CNBC, having appeared numerous times on both Closing Bell with Kelly Evans, and Squawk Box with Becky Quick. He has been interviewed twice by Charlie Rose on PBS. Thyle has contributed articles to The Wall Street Journal, First Things, Forbes, and Policy Review, the journal published by the Hoover Institution, on whose board he sits. Thyle is supposedly the inspiration for the Peter Gregory character on HBO's Silicon Valley, Awards and Honors. In 2006, Thyle won the Herman Lay Award for Entrepreneurship. In 2007, he was honored as a young global leader by the World Economic Forum as one of the 250 most distinguished leaders age 40 and under. On November 7, 2009, Thyle was awarded an honorary degree from Universidad Francisco Marroquín in 2012. Students for Liberty, an organization dedicated to spreading libertarian ideals on college campuses, awarded Thyle its Alumnus of the Year award, and Thyle delivered the keynote address at the 2012 International Students for Liberty Conference. The Diversity Myth. Thyle is the co-author, with David O. Sachs, of the 1995 book The Diversity Myth, Multiculturalism and the Politics of Intolerance at Stanford. The book was critical of what it perceived as political correctness and a dilution of academic rigor. It drew a sharp rebuttal from then-Stanford Provost Condoleezza Rice. According to his 2011 New Yorker profile, Thyle has backtracked somewhat from his assertions in the book. All of the identity-related things are in my mind much more nuanced, he said. I think there is a gay experience, I think there is a black experience, I think there is a woman unregistered trademark S experience that is meaningfully different. I also think there was a tendency to exaggerate it and turn it into an ideological category but his reaction against political correctness, he said, was just as narrowly ideological. Thank You for Smoking. Thyle was the co-producer of Thank You for Smoking, a 2005 feature film based on Christopher Buckley's 1994 novel of the same name. Teaching. In spring 2012 Thyle taught Stanford Class CS 183, Startup. References. Further reading, Drobny, Stephen. Inside the House of Money. The .com, Wiley. ISBN A0-471-79447-3. External links. Thyle Foundation Profile, The Optimistic Thought Experiment essay by Peter Thyle published in Policy Review, Audio-Visual Media, New Media at Universidad Francisco Marroquín, EPUB version of Peter Thyle Lectures at Stanford University, CS 183, Startup,